friends, welcome to the kitchen. We're going to be looking at blueberry scones for breakfast. Yum, right? So if you've been following me for any time at all, one, you know, and hence the name, vegan lifestyle. I am vegan. And here as of this year, I started following another rule, and that was no sugar, no salt, and no oil. The sugars I had cut out some time ago, but as I needed certain things, I may use them. Well, the one item that has affected me greatly is the no salt rule. One, I cannot find anything that can replace salt so that food tastes as good as it used to. However, there are certain recipes that it's fine without the salt. Being vegan and sticking to a vegan lifestyle and watching a number of foods that is placed into the body, I don't eat a lot of salt in general. So I'm very aware of my body and certain changes that happen. And I say the same to you guys as well. If you're eating something or you stop eating something and you notice that there's an imbalance or something that's just not quite right with your health, definitely have that checked out, or you know yourself well and you know what is good or not good for you. So as a person that generally doesn't consume much salt, I will be adding a little bit salt back into my diet. This recipe today will contain salt. It has 1/4 teaspoon of salt in it. So again, not very much salt, but if you want to omit the salt, you definitely can do that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I have on the countertop here today that we're going to be using. Again, a blueberry scone recipe that I hope you guys really enjoy. So let's go ahead and get started. In preparation of the recipe, there are 2 items you want to take care of right away. That is preparing the egg and also your milk. We want to sour the milk. So with the egg, I've taken 2 tablespoons of flaxseed and also 1/4 cup of water. I mix that, allow that to rest for about 5 minutes minimum, and that helps it thicken up and it's going to get an egg-like consistency to that. The other item you want to do is you want to take some milk and you want to add in lemon juice, which is going to help sour that milk. And this milk happens to be homemade milk that I make, so you can definitely check out the video where I do make almond milk, and you can definitely see that right online as well. But so I've taken some almond milk, I've placed it into a measure here. I'm going to add, because I'm only going to use a 1/2 cup of milk, so I'm going to add a 1/2 tablespoon of lemon juice, and you can start out with a 1/2 tablespoon first and then add in your milk up to the 1/2 cup mark. But I went ahead, just put some milk in there, added that in, and now I'm just going to fill it up to that 1/2 inch mark. And we're going to allow this to sit in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes just to allow it to do its sort of souring. Okay, so we are going to start with our flour, and I've placed it in just a larger clear bowl so you can kind of see what's going on. So hopefully you like that versus me using one of my metal ones. But so I have 2 cups of flour measured out using a dry measure. I didn't pour it into the liquid measure bowl, but dry measure and put it into my bowl. So 2 cups of flour. And this happens to be whole wheat flour that I'm using, and it's designed or one for bakery items as well. But it does have some fiber in it, so yes. From there, we're going to add in our sort of dry ingredients and just kind of get this mixed in. So this is my 1 tablespoon of baking powder. Oh, here's my 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So we're going to get that in there. And then we're also going to add in a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. And definitely when you're using ingredients like baking soda, baking powder, it does need that sort of salt to kind of give it its little oomph. So we have that. And finally, we're going to add in our 1 tablespoon of finely shredded orange peel. We're just going to use a pastry blender and just kind of get that to blend together. And the orange, oh, if you were here, the orange smells wonderfully. Okay, I think that's mixed pretty well. We're going to go ahead and get our applesauce and our sugar into the mixture as well. So I am using OMITS applesauce. This is a little bit more than a 1/4 cup, but you want a 1/4 cup of applesauce into the mixture as well. And then as I start to kind of allow this to blend together coarsely, I'm also going to add in Dolcetti's low glycemic sweetener. And we are just going to mix this until it's basically kind of coarse and crumbly. So hopefully you can see that on the side of the bowl. And let me just kind of let you see what that looks like in there. This smells so wonderfully. That orange is just awesome. What a wonderful fragrance. The next step is going to be to mix our more liquid ingredients together. So I have my 1/2 cup of soured milk. I have my 1/4 cup of egg substitute, which is flaxseed. So we're going to get this into our milk mixture. And then I have my 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Just gonna take a fork and mix that all together. Once that is mixed very well, I'm just going to make a hole in the center of my ingredients in the bowl. And then once I have that hole there, I'll take my milk egg mixture and pour that right in the center. From here, I'm just going to use my fork and just start to blend this together. And I want to blend it to the point where it's just mixing together. Like I'm not going to over blend it with my fork. The next step is going to be to add my blueberries. We're going to gently stir this. I'm then going to take just a little bit of flour and I'm going to sprinkle that on my top. And we're going to take our mixture and we're going to knead it gently. Okay, so once you have your fun playing with your dough, you then want to either take it, you can put it onto your sheet that's ready to go. I have parchment paper down to help with the stickiness of it, so a non-stick surface. You can take it, pat it out, you know, into maybe like a pie shape or something like that, and then just kind of cut it into like a pizza, you know, just cut wedges out of it and bake it just like that. I am going to just take it and take pieces of it and kind of do a free form scone. And I have my little measuring cup that I used earlier. You could also, just to make sure they're all the same, just you can measure them out and just drop it onto your sheet. If you wanted a certain shape, like a triangle, you can attempt to kind of get that. Or if you just want what I'm doing here, definitely. Your hands are going to be messy, so if you're a person who doesn't like sticky fingers, sorry. And then once your tray is complete, you have messy fingers, so we'll get washed up. We will get our scones into the oven, and it will take about 15 to 20 minutes for our scones to be complete. And yum, look at those. So that was about 15 minutes. I let it sit just for a little bit more, so maybe 16, pushing 17 minutes. But again, cook time is generally between 15 to 20 minutes, or until it's like a nice golden brown color. They feel great. They smell wonderfully. So yum, I'm ready to pinch a piece and try it for you now. However, my son does like a little bit of icing on it, and I don't use sugar. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of honey. And yes, my vegan friends, for those of you who do not eat honey, this is one thing that I will use in my diet is honey. If you are vegan and you're watching me and you're horrified, I'm so sorry. What you can use is that Dolcetti's low glycemic sweetener as well. So that's another option for you. So instead of using honey, that is a great option. I have about a quarter cup in there. What I also did was I took oranges. So as I did my orange peel for these scones, I took the segments of the orange from inside and I blended them. So you could also take like the orange peel, you could do more orange peel and mix it in with a little bit of orange juice. But this way I figure I'm getting the pulp, so I have fiber from the segments and also the juice as well. So this to me is probably a little bit better than getting the peel and also then just the juice. So I'm going to add a little bit of that in there, and I usually just kind of pour it. Maybe that was about a tablespoon. And you can definitely check it and mix it to what you like. And I probably put a little bit too much orange juice in it, so you can add more honey if you want. But I usually like kind of a thicker consistency. But what you can do is also just kind of give it a little bit of a taste. You get a little bit of that orange flavor. Definitely if you added in the orange peel into it as well, that's going to really pronounce that sort of oranginess of it. But you can basically, once you get that mix, just take it and drizzle it over your scone. So again, I typically just opt for the scone without the icing. My son does like that extra bit of sweetness, so we will leave those for him. But I hope this is another recipe that you guys can enjoy. I will take a little bit of a bite. Ooh, it's still very warm. Those are yummy. I really hope you enjoy this recipe from me. As always, please do like, subscribe, share, and join me again soon. I'm usually looking for something new to do in the kitchen, so if there's something that you guys are interested in learning about or making, definitely shoot me a comment and let me know. I would love to hear from you, and who knows, that may be my next video. I hope you have a wonderfully blessed day, and join me again here soon. Bye for now.